up, guys? It's your boy, Barça Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. We do have a lot of big topics to discuss. First, we have an update on the new pivot signings, whether it's going to be Guido Rodriguez and someone else as well. We have an update on the future Amadou Onana, and also Bernardo Silva being linked with Barcelona yet again. A lot of big news in regards to player exits around Ansu Fati, Clement Lenglet, also the future of Lewandowski, Ronald Araujo's contract renewal update, very big update on Cubarsi and Roberto's renewal. Injury updates on McBack and Des as well. And finally, huge update in regards to financial fair play, where Barcelona now have sent all the documents to LaLiga and are now waiting a response back to know what their fair play will be for this summer transfer window. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 hours. Now, firstly, we do have an update on Barcelona's pursuit of the pivot position this summer, with Mateo Merito coming out saying that Barcelona will look for 2 pivots if Romeu leaves the club this summer. Amadou Onana is one of the favorites, but difficult due to economic reasons. I think they'll continue to search for more options. Guido Rodriguez and Barcelona is on the right track, although it is not completely done yet. So again, with Romeu expected to leave, barring any last surprises, the club do want to sign a total of 2 pivots. One of them most likely will be Guido Rodriguez, who's kind of going to be replacing like for like Romeu in terms of age and, you know, style and experience, and then one to come in for the medium and long term. With Onana, again, he's not even starting for Everton over the past month. I don't know what's going on with him. Apparently, Tottenham showing some good interest in him. I think the Telegraph, Matt Law, came out saying that a few hours ago. Look, for 40 million, I'll take the gamble on it, but anything more than 40 million for me is just not worth it whatsoever. Especially when you have other experienced, you know, better level CDMs available for that kind of price. You know, you're 60 million, you're talking about Zumendi. If you're paying 50, you have a usual Kimmich option. You have Alex Garcia, who's a cheaper option as well. With Onana, I think it's more so Deco that's really keen on the player, or maybe likes his profile per se, but for the price, it's just not worth the gamble from the Barcelona perspective. So wait and see how things turn out. But again, the plan is very clear in the pivot position this summer, and that is to sign 2 players, including, of course, the exit of Romeu. Now, you know, the midfielder that Barcelona will be keeping a close eye on this summer is, of course, Bernardo Silva. There are reports coming in from Mundo Deportivo suggesting that Bernardo Silva is amongst the players at the top of Barcelona's list in case they return to the 1-1 rule, allow them to go for a world-class signing. So again, all these ideas, we talked about this in yesterday's video as well, when Fabrizio Romano came out saying that, look, Laporta, Deco, and Xavi love Bernardo Silva, and he's seen as a top target. But again, he is not the priority. We need a pivot and a left wing first, and I will say it again, if we sign Bernardo Silva ahead of a pivot and a left wing, I'd sack everyone. Laporta, Enric Masip, Deco, Xavi, Boyan, Echeverri, get them all out. There is no way you're signing, you know, a cherry on top of the cake when you don't even have the cake done yet. It just makes no sense. World-class player, brilliant talent, definitely Barcelona level would take him. The price, again, a big question for his age. I'd rather, you know, look at the option of Dani Olmo, who is, you know, 6 or 7 years younger, same profile, same price as well. Will probably better adapt to the city culture style of play. So that's a different question for another day. But right now, it's very clear. Barcelona, like Bernardo Silva, and if they had no handcuffs, so to speak, with financial fair play, they would definitely plan and pursue the signing of Bernardo Silva. But again, not a priority, but definitely a top/dream signing for the club this summer. Let's discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 24 hours. First up, we do have an update on a few loan players, firstly being in Clement Lenglet. Sport come out saying that Barcelona does not rule out the termination of the contract of Clement Lenglet this summer. Barcelona will look for a way out for him, and the priority is to sell him, but this is difficult because of his high salary, which is one of the highest salaries in the team to this day. Again, I think Lenglet sat on 250,000 euros per week. Shout out you-know-who for doing that last second before he resigned a few days later. Look, Aston Villa ain't buying him. People are telling me, oh, he played a lot of minutes for Aston Villa. You know, he would contribute a little bit to them this season. Yes, he did, but that's more so because Pau Torres, Konza, Tyrone Mings, Diego Carlos were all injured for a decent amount of period, and that's why Lenglet got a few minutes here and there. I don't think Aston Villa will go out there and purchase him unless Unai Emery's a big fan of him as a squad player, in training, stuff like that. Again, just gotta get rid of him. Remember, don't forget, in January there was a lot of interest from Italy for Lenglet, from Roma, Napoli, AC Milan. So I think Lenglet has a bit of a market, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage and just get rid of him. Again, I'm not expecting a sale. If we get any transfer fee, 1 million, €1, 1 pence, it's a bonus in my opinion. Just get rid of him, get him off the wage bill is the most important thing. Now, Sport also came out saying a number of clubs in Saudi Arabia are interested in Ansu Fati, who is currently on loan at Brighton, and Clement Lenglet, who is currently on loan, of course, at Aston Villa. So Saudi coming knocking on the door for Clement Lenglet would be good. Again, with Ansu, I think the situation is a bit too delicate to really discuss and dive into right now. I think if Ansu can just survive and get on that plane the preseason and to the America, anything can happen from that point. But again, the Barcelona have been portraying in the media is that Ansu Fati is not part of the club's plan. But what Ansu Fati is saying in the media is that he's more motivated and he wants to prove everyone wrong. So again, it can go either way. He does have a bit of a leverage because he does have a contract. He does have the final say so. Barcelona can't really force him to do anything. So we'll wait and see on that. But again, all these loan players returning are going to have their futures decided hopefully during the month of June, and hopefully definitely before preseason begins. Now, on the topic of loan players, we do have an update on the fullback situation at Barcelona. This is coming in from Sport, and they came out with a few updates and what the current plan is for Barcelona in those fullback positions. They first came out saying that Araujo will stay next season. Balde is guaranteed as a starting left back next season. Ford is staying, is also likely, though it's not 100% guaranteed. Again, he might go on loan potentially if we do have a lot of competition. Cancelo's future right now is open. Again, if he stays or he doesn't stay, that's in the air. And also, that will also have a big implication on Hector Ford's future as well. And Alex Valle's future is still to be decided. So, based on this report, only Julian Araujo and Alejandro Balde are guaranteed to be fullbacks next season. I think the reality situation is that at right back, it's going to be Cancelo and Araujo if the club, plan it the way they want it. At left back, it'll be Balde, either Alex Valle, Hector Ford, maybe Sergi Cardona, but he hasn't been talked about since February, to be honest. And again, the club have been saying that they might want to sell Alex Valle, use that promise that he showed at Levante, cash in on him, sell for 5 million, 10 million, and then sign Cardona for free, or just trust Hector Ford. I think Hector Ford is the top talent, but I wouldn't really consider him as coverage and competition for Balde. I would really like him to stay though. I think he should stay at Barça Athletic, play there week in, week out, train with the first team, then come into the first team if there's injuries, stuff like that provide a different dynamic or whatever the case may be. I think that should be his role next season. Then the following season after that, decide then loan or permanently in the first team. So again, we'll wait to see how things turn out. But again, I think the left back position is really open, but right back's pretty concrete right now with Araujo and Cancelo. But left back, it's gonna be Balde plus someone else. Now, the final loan update that we do have is on the future of Eric Garcia, where he spoke to Sport yesterday, providing some updates on his future. He came out, he was asked on staying at Barcelona, and he said it will depend on the club. I know that I have 2 more years left of my contract, and that I will return in the summer. We haven't talked yet, and we'll wait and see how things turn out. I have a contract with Barcelona. I will return when the season ends, and we will talk to the club to see what happens. It looks like he's pretty open with his future as well. He talked about during this interview that, Girona treated him very well. He wouldn't mind continuing there, but again, Barcelona is the club of his life, and he wants to, succeed there. So a bit of an open situation with Eric Garcia. Again, if we, sell a Christensen, a Koundé, or an Araujo, he could maybe have a decent chance at coming back into the first team, but I think apart from that, it's very difficult for him. We kind of used the argument for him last season that, he can play as a center back and a pivot, but now we have Andreas Christensen who's doing that. Yes, Eric Garcia is a few years younger, but Christensen's already been here for 2 years at a fantastic level as well. I would look to move Eric Garcia on unless we have some massive sales in the defense. And I mean massive by 2 center backs leaving. So maybe Inigo Araujo, Inigo Koundé Araujo. I think if 2 center backs leave, that's where I think Eric Garcia could have a chance of returning. We know that Xavi's a big fan of the player, but when your squad gets too good, you might have to let go of some of the good players as well. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. Again, he's been playing a lot of right back for Girona over the past few weeks as well, so he could be very much a utility player in the defense. Maybe I would much rather, I would love to move on Roberto and keep Eric Garcia as a squad player. I think that I wouldn't mind that per se. I think that's definitely an upgrade, but of course the club and Xavi won't think like this. They're gonna want to keep Roberto, who we will talk about later on. Anyways, on Eric Garcia, we'll wait and see. Still very much an open situation. Now, with there being a lot of rumors about potential exits at Barcelona, there's also rumors about players being absolutely adamant that they want to stay at Barcelona, and one of them being Robert Lewandowski. Now, Helena Codes from Cope came out saying that Lewandowski believes that the club is pressuring him, as they did with Frankie de Jong 2 seasons ago, to leave or reduce his salary. Lewandowski's salary next season is the largest in his contract. Robert explained that he does not want to go out and that his wife is planning to open a dance school in Barcelona as well. Now he will see if the pressure will bring in results and make him take a pay cut. Now, also, Roberto from Deportivo came out saying that Lewandowski does not think about leaving Barcelona, even if he gets offered all the money in the world from outside. He intends to fulfill his contract. He's at the club he dreamt of, and his family is also delighted with living in the city. In fact, his plans are to settle in his house in Gavà, next to the beach, after retiring. Furthermore, he's one of the players who went to Xavi's office asking him to stay, and with the coach staying, Lewandowski sees him at Barcelona for a young team that is getting experience. Likewise, he's also incentive of playing at the new Spotify Camp Nou as well. Look, I have no problem with Lewandowski staying. I think he's a top player. I think he's done a lot since January until now to really, put his foot forward and make a strong case for him to stay. Again, the issue is the salary, and whether Barcelona are doing this trying to pressure him to reduce his salary, he bloody well should be. He should not be on 300,000 euros next season. He's not performing at that level. If he was, I'd be like, you know what? He's performing at that level. He's earning a lot of money through advertisement, sponsorships, and all this stuff. Fair enough, but he's not, and that's the reality of it. And also, I think if you go to Lewandowski and say to him, look, you're on 300k a week. Reduce that to 100k, reduce that by 100,000, so you go down to 200,000, maybe 180, 190. We use that money to improve the squad. I'm sure if you sat down with them and told them that and showed them the aspirations you do have, you can definitely, get him to reduce it, or make them very much incentive on variables. So say, okay, you get 10 plus goals before Christmas break. We'll keep your wages the same, or we will add, a few 100,000 a week if you, meet these criteria, stuff like that. There's always different routes to reach an agreement, which I do hope the club does, because he cannot be going into next season on 300,000 a week. But wait and see. Again, he's been very, very adamant, Lewandowski, in the media a lot over the past few weeks that he wants to stay at Barcelona, and again, the club is very happy to keep him. The only issue in this scenario is his wages for next season. Now, a player who's on the same boat as Lewandowski with the incentive of only staying at Barcelona, but the club have a different point of view on, is Raphinha. Jaime Miguel from AES came out saying that Barcelona will not consider any offers below 70 million euros for Raphinha. Of course, we ended up paying, I believe, 60, so you got a little 10 million profit. And again, the winger department, or market, should I say, is quite low at the moment. So Raphinha is probably one of the top ones out there. And again, nothing under 70 million euros will be considered by Barcelona. So again, I think that's, a fair assessment. I don't think Raphinha has done enough to be an untouchable player. I think he's done enough to, make it difficult for him to leave Barcelona this summer for sure. So anything above 70 million, to be honest, I'd be okay with as well. I prefer to keep Raphinha. I think he's done enough again to stay at Barcelona. I think he's a great player, and hopefully will grow into something even better than he is right now. But if Newcastle bid 80 million, I'll sit down and talk. And that's the reality of the situation. Not because we need to sell players, but again, you're getting a very high market value offer for a player that next season he could be just shite, and then his value will depreciate like no tomorrow. So it's also going to be smart with it, but also think about the future of the player and the squad as well. So it's a very good incentive, very good price tag, I think, and a very fair price tag set by Barcelona. And we'll wait and see if any offers do come in. Now, the Brazilian that is the most likely to leave Barcelona this summer is Vitor Roque, as his potential loan move is gaining a lot of strength. Again, nothing from Joaquin Pereira quite yet, but a lot of reliable sources are coming out in agreements with the same thing. Now, firstly, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Vitor Roque's continuity next season is in the air. The sporting area is considering a loan so that he can continue to grow and adapt. If he does leave, various scenarios are open, like signing someone, continuing Ferran Torres as Lewandowski's backup, or betting on Marc Guiu. What in tarnation? You've spent 30. Again, we have not paid anything yet for Vitor Roque, but you've spent 30 million plus 30 in variables, and you're gonna loan him out and then potentially sign someone to replace him. And on top of that, Ferran Torres is the backup for Lewandowski. May God have mercy on my soul. We're so finished. Marc Guiu, fair enough. I think Marc Guiu is not at the level to really provide that push competition for Lewandowski. He can provide coverage, sure, to give Lewandowski a rest here and there, come off the bench when we need a goal, but he will not really push Lewandowski to be better. Again, Lewandowski's form peaked in January, February time because Vitor Roque is coming in, and all us Barcelona fans are saying, yo, send Lewandowski right to the bench and get this Brazilian guy up front, El Triguino. And then look what happened. Anyways, Helena Cordes from Cope also came out saying that further confirmation that Barcelona is seriously thinking about sending Vitor Roque on loan next season to a Spanish club. So again, nothing decided, but they're thinking about it, they're considering it, and of course the point of view of Vitor Roque and convincing Vitor Roque to go on loan will play a huge role. Again, we cannot force him to go on loan, he has to agree to it as well, alongside his entourage, Andre Curry and everyone else involved. For me, this is idiotic. Again, I'm waiting for, the good top sources to say something, but I do not agree with this whatsoever. This also looks very, very bad on the club as well. Spending 30 million on him plus 30 in variables to then go out, potentially sign someone to be a Lewandowski backup as well. That just boggles my mind. And to be fair to Vitor Roque, in the games that he has played off the bench and starting, he's been alright. He's shown us something. Shows that flair, shows the intensity, the ability to run into space, score some chances. The game against Alaves, he came on, 3 seconds later he scored against Osasuna. He had moments. He's not like he's come on and been shite every single time. So this rush to conclusion, I think this more so has to do with FFP. That, he's not registered quite yet. That's why a loan is being considered. So that's what I think the club are trying to do, is put this loan rumor out there. That way, if they cannot register him, they're going to be like, we've always thought about loaning him out anyways. That is what I personally think. But we'll wait and see. Again, nothing decided quite yet. But again, a loan move for Vitor Roque is gaining a lot of momentum. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, on the contract renewal of Ronald Araujo. Now, firstly, there have been reports coming in from Gigentes, an opinion of a journalist saying that I don't think that Araujo fits the profile of a center back that Barcelona needs. That's his opinion, whatever, we're not going to talk about that. I understand that the player also has doubts on his continuity. Now, following this, Fernando Polo from Mundo Deportivo came out with a big report saying that Barcelona's position is clear. They want Ronald Araujo to continue, and both Deco and Xavi have already informed this to him. They want him to extend his contract. He knows what Barcelona offers him, and the club is calm in this sense. At the moment, Araujo has not informed anything to the club whether he wants to renew his contract or leave. The reality is that Araujo, despite wanting to stay, also has doubts about what Bayern Munich offers him on both sporting and economic level as well. In any case, Araujo will have to decide, and Barcelona are waiting, because if he wants to leave, he will have to bring a great offer to consider his exit. Very much on the same scale of Frankie de Jong. The club want him to stay, they've offered him, they've heard nothing back from the player. So it's just a waiting game at this point for Araujo to decide. Again, Bayern Munich's project ain't looking that great. Tuchel is leaving, Ralf Rangnick is coming in. They have so many center backs as well. De Ligt, Upamecano, Kim Min-jae, Eric Dyer. It's going to be difficult to fit Araujo in there without a big sale from their part as well. And do they want to spend 100 million on a center back when they already have 4 decent center backs? It's all in the air. There's been some reports, of course, about Manchester United as well, but come on, Man United, they're just shite. So all routes lead to Barcelona, but the reality is that he's just not. I don't know if he's waiting for the end of the season. I don't know if he's just really contemplating this decision, but it's not being as straightforward as it should be for the third captain of Barcelona. So we'll wait and see. To be honest, with Xavi staying, I'm very, very encouraged, very optimistic, and pretty confident as well that Araujo will stay. From my information that I do have around Araujo, again, I've heard nothing but the same since February. Talks are ongoing, nothing decided yet, still a 50-50 scenario. That's all I've been hearing, so we'll wait and see. But with Xavi staying, Deco staying, the push the media, the push Xavi that he does in the press conferences as well, giving the player confidence. And again, I think Araujo also has a little bit something. I mean, PSG played Dortmund yesterday, should have been us, and it would have been us if it wasn't for his big mistake as well. Gave away, a penalty against Valencia, red cards, and letting goals go in big moments and big games this season. I think he owes us to stay for one more season and not stay, but commit his future to Barcelona and prove to us. And again, he's 2 or 3 years away from being the first team captain at Barcelona as well. So everything is here. Barcelona, biggest club in the world, just sign the damn contract, sign the thing. Now, the most advanced renewal at Barcelona is Araujo's center-back partner, and that is Pau Cubarsi. Franco Rasmus Sport came out saying that Pau Cubarsi's contract renewal should be sealed once the season is over. His agents are quite in agreement with Barcelona's offer. The official announcement may not arrive until the summer though. So by the end of this season, we're expecting that Pau Cubarsi will put pen and paper on a brand new deal at Barcelona. 5-year deal, €1 billion release clause. Of course, he will sign it. It'll be made, official, so to speak, when he returns to 18. It signs that first professional contract. Wages will be increasing every single year. I think they start fairly low, but they increase pretty decent numbers from what I've seen in the media. But again, no worries on Pau Cubarsi's contract renewal. He will stay and commit his future to Barcelona. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Sergi, Roberto. Jordi Gil from Sports come out saying that Sergi Roberto will continue at Barcelona for one more season. The renewal is almost complete. There have been some reports saying that Roberto might not stay on the same conditions. He might want a bit more money. If that's the case, you can just sack him off completely. But I don't believe those reports. I think Roberto will stay on the same amount of same salary, same contract length, 1 year going for every single year from now until we decide not to keep him. Again, he's the captain of the club. Xavi wants him to stay. I have no problem. I think, to be honest, his performances have saved him a little bit this season. Again, he's had the 2 worst performances this season, but he's also turned up a bit moments this season as well, which I think has helped the renewal in regards to the fan base accepting it. Because if Roberto's been shite this whole season, I'd be absolutely fuming. But you know what? He's come in, he's put in some good performances. Xavi's backed him, saying that if he wasn't injured so much, he would be even more important than he already is. And Xavi's using him very well. He uses him in little games and coming on as an impact sub, only starting big games if there are injuries. So again, he's on peanuts. I don't really mind it at this point. So we'll wait and see what happens with Roberto's renewal. But again, everything's on track, and wait and see if anything can be made official or a full agreement will be reached at some point soon. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around Barcelona in general. We do have 2 very, very big injury updates. One of them being Serginho Dest, and Serginho Dest finally announced officially that he has bloody torn his ACL. So again, the big injury out till 2025. What was it? Oh, it was an accident, blah, blah, blah. His buddy's gone out there and done his ACL. He did the videos and he's done his ACL. He wants to, recover as soon as possible. All the usual stuff. Now, following that video, Fabrizio Romano came out saying that PSV Eindhoven wanted to trigger the €10 million buy option for Dest. Oh, they were very happy with the player, but his ACL injury that will keep him out until 2025 can change the situation in terms of negotiation. So again, PSV still interested. They still want to keep Dest. I'm pretty sure Dest wants to stay there as well. And of course, Barcelona want to offload him. But now the deal is going to be structured a bit different. I think what will happen now is that we're going to base this deal a lot on variables. So we might do a 5+5, 6+4, 7+3, 8+2, whatever the case may be, because now that he's injured, and again, an ACL injury, might come back the same, might come back worse. So PSV are going to be taking a gamble on him, and we're going to be taking a gamble as well in regards to selling him. So that's a big, big blow. Put on that 10 million in, straight in the pocket, moved on with our lives, and now we got to actually sit down and negotiate a bit with PSV, which is going to be a bit tedious, but what can you do? Again, the luck of Barcelona. And the final injury update we do have is on McBack. We talked about him in the few videos ago about him continuing at Barcelona, but now he's gone, buddy, got injured, and he's going to be out for the rest of the season as well. Sport have come out saying that McBack will undergo surgery on his ankle on Monday and will be out for a few months. Unless Barcelona execute the €4 million buy option for him, he would have already played his last match for the club. His season is 100% over. At first, his injury did not seem serious, but further tests determined a complete rupture in the internal lateral ligament of his left ankle, which has forced him to undergo surgery. The current injury further complicates the club's decision regarding his future as well. So pretty much the death situation, but roles reversed. Look, I think we have a lot of center backs at the club, to the point that if we do buy him, cool. If we don't buy him, cool. I think he's done very well at Barça Athletic. Maybe we can keep an eye on him for the future. But again, 4 million, when we could use that money elsewhere. Still, we have a few priorities where 4 million can make a difference in many regards. So we'll wait and see what the club decide. To be honest, I'm cool either way. You want to spend the money on him, sure. Then maybe sell him on in the future. But again, it's a risk now with this injury. If you want to pass up on him, that's also cool. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 24 hours. The most interesting story that's come out, in my opinion, has come out from the Polish media. Now, I forget this journalist's name, but he's very close to Lewandowski. He's, I think the top journalist in Poland in regards to football, of course. And he came out saying that during his time on loan at Linares, Fermin Lopez was close to a move to that Polish team last year around April. His agents even agreed a transfer fee with Barcelona for less than 600,000 euros. At this time, there were big changes in the coaching staff at the Polish club. At this time, there was big changes in the coaching staff of the Polish club, who then decided against the transfer due to tactical shortcomings, and they thought he could not make a difference in the penalty box. He ended up the season at Linares with 12 goals and 4 assists. Xavi then took him to the USA for the preseason tour, where he scored a sensational goal against Real Madrid, and since then has continued to grow. The only reason why I'm telling you guys this story is this is what happens when you trust players and give them the opportunity that they have shown and they have proved, whether they've been in La Masia, Juvenil A, Cadet, Barça Athletic, or out on loan. See what happens here. Now we might not even sign Alex Garcia this summer because Fermin Lopez has done so well. He's grown. He's shown the fight and courage to play for Barcelona. All this because Xavi just let him come on preseason tour. That's all it took. So keep your eyes on that for this summer as well, when it comes to, you know, Marc Bernal, Mikel Fay, maybe even Ansu Fati, these loan players coming back as well when they get the opportunity in preseason, because preseason can change the dynamic of so many things. Because again, you train every single day, you play, you know, a few games here and there to really get your match rhythm and sharpness up, and those are the moments where you can impress Xavi and impress the coaching staff. There's no pressure, there's no season happening whatsoever. It's all just vibes at that point, and this is a prime example of that. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is in regards to an update on financial fair play. Now, Raccoon have come out saying that all the Barcelona financial documentations have already been sent to LaLiga, who will now have a few weeks to make the calculations and transfer their feedback to Barcelona. Among these documents is a projection of compliance with the budget for the current and next season, the balance of profit and losses, investments, and the financing structure and the state of the treasury. The club has delivered the financial data to LaLiga so that they could determine the wage cap of the squad and the capacity to make signings for the upcoming season. So again, Barcelona have sent everything in regards to FFP to LaLiga, what they expect to have by the end of the season, what they want to come in regards to investments, Nike deal, all that stuff, and then LaLiga now will take that information, calculate it, and say, yes, if you follow this plan that you've given us, you'll have this wage cap and you'll be back in the 1-1 rule or not, whatever the case may be. Mundo Deportivo also came out saying that Barcelona have already sent all necessary documents to LaLiga to calculate their fair play, which will determine how much margin they have and their ability to make signings this summer. The league will respond back soon, hopefully by the end of this month, beginning of June. Surely, again, they have to give Barcelona somewhat a suitable time to plan for everything. But once everything is set, it's now in the hands of LaLiga. Make your prayers, and hopefully everything goes well and we do return to the 1-1 rule. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, obviously, of course, is your thoughts on the pivot signings, future Bernardo Silva, sales, Araujo's renewal, Lewandowski's future, and also on Barcelona sending the paperwork to LaLiga. You think LaLiga will, you know, give us a fair play margin this summer or not? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barça.